Two warnings. First warning. This video is totally not meant for kids. This is a review of a South Park episode. So if you are under 13 years old, you do not watch this video at all. But if you choose not to, oh, that's fine. I can't stop you. But I'm not responsible if you learn anything bad from this at all. And second warning, there will be some spoilers in this video, which means I'll be reviewing the entire special of South Park, which is this 1-hour pandemic special. I will be going over this whole thing, including parts of the episode, and I'll even compare this to the current events. I will give you 5 seconds. 5, 4. Time. This episode of South Park starts with the warning that's a little bit different but similar to the warning we've always seen in the beginning of South Park. But it says that due to COVID-19 it should not be viewed by anyone. Now we start to modern day South Park that's completely devastated. We see Butters sitting down in his house asking his dad if he can go to Build-A-Bear because it's about to open. And he's like, no, it's a non-essential business. We can't go to Build-A-Bear workshop. Then everybody lines up to see a panel. Everyone lines up to see a panel by Randy Marsh, the owner of Integrity Farms. And he talks about how great it's been for him since the pandemic started. He talks about how Integrity Farms sales have gone up. So because of the pandemic, he decided to make a pandemic special, which is the best of his specials, but 10% off. This angers his wife, Sharon. And she's like, seriously, people are dying and such. And while I do have to agree, some people might think this is going to be hurting and really heartless for the people who are affected by the pandemic. But really it's just a promotion. And Randy was just saying, we'll see what people think, how people like the special. We fast forward to Cartman's house. And he is so happy because he gets to do nothing all day. And he gets to do whatever the hell he wants. And he can't go outside or anything. But what's really funny is that there's nothing fun about being home and doing nothing. And he's just pretending like virtual learning is really a good thing. And Cartman just puts a tablet and pretends that his computer is frozen before he puts the tablet up of a picture of him frozen. And he just cheats that all the way. And while he just gets breakfast, Cartman's mom comes through and just talks to him saying, it's a trying time, you should be doing your homework and everything. And that they're talking about going back. This angers Cartman, and he is not happy about this at all. He does not want to go back to school at all, because it's the middle of a pandemic. That I can kind of understand. There's some parents who really don't like that either, and I'm sure Cartman is not the only one. For me, I thought it was too little too late when they started everything. But I doubt it's not going to be too bad. I mean, you'll get to see your friends. It's going to be a little different. You'll have to wear your masks and everything. We move on to the parent meeting, where all the parents of the kids in South Park talk to Mr. Mackey, and they go over a couple of topics. But one big thing they go over is there's no teachers. And since the teachers didn't want to go into school because of the pandemic, they hire new teachers, which turns out to be the police force. When they were going back, there were news reports going over the lab and going over what caused the virus. It was later found out to be a pangolin. This gives Randy a flashback to last season, to where it had Randy and Mickey Mouse together. They have sex with a bat and then a pangolin. This leaves him really frustrated and scared because he thought he started the coronavirus even though it happened in October and it really started in December. We go to their South Park kids' first day of school, and it's really accurate because the South Park kids are wearing masks like we do at regular school. And what's different about it is, despite some social distancing, they are isolated in a little chamber. And things go really bad as Cartman gets in, and he is not happy at all. He gets so angry, they just detain him. They handcuff him to his seat so he would barely move. This gets him so pissed that he just coughs on Kyle, threatening to get a case, like the asshole Cartman really is. And this leads to the whole classroom going into panic, leading to one of the policemen shooting a token, and he manages to get shot. And after the whole school day, the parents are left standing outside the school with telling them they had a COVID case, and everyone has to be in quarantine at school. All the students and kids had to be in quarantine at the school. This leads to the parents very upset, and then they announce it to the kids saying they had a COVID case, when really Stan was telling them that, oh, it's not COVID related. One of you guys just shot the student. Like, the kid got shot and had to be taken to the hospital. He didn't have coronavirus in any way. But they're like, yeah, it was COVID related. And I agree with Stan. Like, this was a good point because it doesn't make sense. He gets shot. Like, Token got shot. And it's not considered a COVID case at all if somebody got shot. Which that must be a reference to some of the recent shooting and black men dying under the hands of policemen. But things go okay, as later, Randy decides to go to his brother-in-law, who Sharon told that he was suffering. So Randy goes to Jimbo's hospital room and makes a special. He puts his own DNA into the pandemic special and has Jimbo smoke that. And that makes him feel better. However, what Randy should have done is he should have did some research. And if he would have done some research, he would know that there are some things that help out with if you're infected with viruses or any other diseases. Like copper can help you out if you have a coronavirus, and it might help you recover. So I think Randy should have done some research on that. We then go back to the school, and Stan and Kyle are worried about Butters because earlier he was taken away from the cafeteria by the cops because he was really upset about never having to go to Build-A-Bear and everything. I think Butters should just let it go for a while. It's going to be a long time before he might probably go there. But then, Stan decides to call the President of the United States. What's really funny about the President is that instead of Donald Trump, our current President, we have Mr. Garrison, their former teacher, as the President. So they called the President trying to get the attention. The President told them that his only job was that he gets to kill the illegal immigrants, or the Mexicans, which is a stereotype, by the way. But then Stan talks about the pangolin animal and how its DNA could help and everything. Randy sells a special, and Sharon calls him to tell him that Jimbo was growing his mustache, which we really know was from the DNA. This is one of the parts where the audience, we know what's happening, but the other character doesn't. We then go back to all the students of South Park Elementary quarantine, which, if I haven't said this already, it feels like a prison though. All of them having to be 6 feet apart together, but they all have to be stuck, like they're snowed in, and they can't go out or anything. I mean, this is what people might say about school, to say that it feels like a prison, sort of. And then Stan wakes up everybody to break out, just so that he and his friends can go take Butters where he wants to go. He wants to go to Build-A-Bear Workshop. But then Jimmy tells them they're on appointment only. So then they break out. And this causes the whole town of South Park to go into chaos. And some kids end up getting killed. And Kenny manages to die in this episode. Just like he always does. I didn't expect that to happen. Like Kenny to actually die in the episode. So while Stan, Cartman, and Kyle take Butters and avoid the whole crowds, they manage to get to Build-A-Bear Workshop. And then they find out Build-A-Bear is closed. Because someone went in with the mustache that everybody has gotten from the special. They break into Build-A-Bear Workshop. And Stan tries to stuff a bear, make a bear. But he is not able to do that. We now finally turn to the resolution where the police show up right across from Build-A-Bear and accusing them of protesting and looting. But then Randy comes to stop it and brings in the pangolin that they were all looking for to help with the vaccine. Cartman decides to take it and he's like, no, I don't want this pandemic again. I want to go back to where it was before school. I mean, he didn't say that. He wanted to go back to where it was. I'm like, seriously, Cartman? Are you serious? You want to go back to hard times and people died? Would you want things to get a lot better, Cartman? He almost kills the pangolin, but he doesn't. He doesn't kill the pangolin. The doctor has, and then the president comes and just burns him and the pangolin in him. How he is not charged with murder is beyond me. But then again, Cartman's done a lot of things related to killing people, and he's not even in jail. I'm surprised Cartman isn't even in Jubilee Hall for what he does, but then the president does it? Wow, this just proves there's a big stereotype. Like, I know the real president of the United States wouldn't do anything like that, but still. We go to Integrity Farm, where a forest across the farm gets burned. And then Randy's wife Sharon gets a mustache, and then Randy tries to talk about something, but then decides not to. And then after they talk, the special ends. Well, this special's got most of the things right. And in some cases, when I first saw this special, I thought some parts were really, really funny. And this special got a lot of the stuff correct. And if you didn't know what that pangolin was, hey, I don't blame you. I just researched that. Pangolins are in Africa, and they're also in Asia, and in parts of Indonesia. They're a type of animal, but they remind me of an armadillo. And I'm not referencing the color yellow in Spanish. I'm talking about the animal, the armadillo. Which, that's what a pangolin reminds me of, except the pangolin they showed at South Park was really hairy. What do I think of this special overall? Overall, I give this special 2 thumbs up, and I would recommend you watch this special. So that was about it for my review. This special was executed really well, and we have waited for this for a long time. This has been Brick, and I'm out.